Punta del Este, Uruguay plays host to the next stop on the Millions Tour. Welcome to the Enjoy Resort and Casino. This is Party Poker Live Millions South America. It is day one of the 25K Super High Roller. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks in the broadcast booth. Brent, here we are. Some big names at our feature table to kick things off.
The always exciting Neil Farrell on top of the leaderboard. Take a look at that pile. How about Jack Sinclair, World Series of Poker main event Europe champion not too long ago? Sergio Arlaski. We're going to learn a little bit about him today. How about
Simao out of Brazil, more than $3 million in career tournament earnings.
You talk about a guy that doesn't like to fold. I have seen Joao
Right.
play some of the most interesting hands maybe ever. Here we go. Right to work. 7-8 suited under the gun. Right on point. Buys in, sits down, raise.
Didn't come here to fold. The 7-8 of diamonds.
He gets a feed from the RFI.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was out before he sat down.
And he's getting an earful here from Neil.
Sergio makes the call with the Queen-9 off.
I told you, keep an eye on Sergio today.
He's our wild card.
He is our wild card. In fact, we don't have any stats on him. Nothing in handed. Nothing. We can't find anything. No results whatsoever. He is your amateur recreational player out here having a ball and a biscuit, living the dream. Going to try and take home a little 25K high roller glory.
Comes Neil with the ace-jack and the big blind.
Might
Does
I mention
flop,
two
top
L's.
pair. The open-ended straight draw for Sergio. The flush draw and the gut shot for Joao. A little bit for everybody here.
Oh, this could escalate in a hurry.
Joao bets 40K. Sergio did make the call.
Yeah. Coin flip or something? Sixes? Yep. It's all coming back to me.
And really for Neil, I am calling here and seeing what develops on the turn. We have the ace of diamonds in our hand as backup, so we can eliminate either one of these opponents from having that sort of holding.
He's going to look to raise now, makes it 150K.
Wow, top pair, top kicker, perhaps having the ace of diamonds, maybe we can sort of thin the herd. But, Jeff, you can see that this is not going to work.
You must have still been a bit surprised when you saw that it was all the way up there. Spun it all the way up to that.
Has to fade quite a number of turn cards. You can see the percentages there. Even when you do have top pair, top kicker with the ace of diamonds, you're only 38%.
Yeah.
I think my friend is having his bachelor party in Prague.
And it is on Joao here.
So I would never travel for something so small.
Joao makes the call.
Both players just going to come along for the ride here. Now getting a great price if you're Sergio.
Yeah,
saying,
448K
okay,
in the middle, 110K more to you.
why not?
Even we can do that math. Better than 4 to 1.
I think it's pretty easy now for Neil to range assess, right? It looks like Sergio has maybe Queen-9, King-Queen we'll give him.
So that's like 8 weekends already.
And now can we ever put Joao on a similar holding? Clearly a draw, maybe a flush draw. Best card in the deck, really.
Absolutely, another 3.
We eliminate any of these guys from having 3x in our hands, and if we are Neil, we can consider sizing this one up. 560,000 roughly in the middle. We need to deny equity right now.
I think I assumed it would take less time.
Where did you travel from to here?
From London, stop in Madrid.
Really fun.
Montevideo.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Use the time extension card.
Yeah, he knows if he bets somewhere around 450, 400, he's committed to essentially both players if they were to, for whatever reason, to move it in over the top.
30 hours, but I had like a 9-hour layover in Mexico City.
I just don't think he's going to give Joao or Sergio the right price to call with any sort of drawing hand. Oh my goodness, he's going to check.
Checks.
Oh, this is interesting, Jeff. I fully anticipated a bet for all those reasons we've stated. We're going to see very likely a free card on the river.
On which side?
Oh my gosh.
Instead, Joao rips it in on the turn.
Overbet shove with 8 high. Sergio now, he can't call with this, right? Just an open-ender. The board has paired.
He is our wild card.
What is going on this hand?
Just day one, not day 1 and 2 like they did with the 1K. Sure, I like that for the integrity.
Does eventually fling his cards into the muck. Neil Farrell asks for a count.
Neil's getting exactly what he wanted here in this spot. No way does he give Joao a 3. It would have to be Jack 10 exactly that we're at all afraid of. Maybe for the times we're up against an overpair. How unlikely is that? It just looks like some sort of combo draw, right? Just trying to stuff it in and get a fold. I am very surprised that we have not called by now. What value hands are we afraid of at the moment, Jeff? I don't think very many. And my goodness, did he fold?
He did fold.
Wow. I am completely shocked as to how that hand just unfolded.
Freek raising it up under the gun with the king 5 of diamonds.
That's reasonable. Short-handed.
Yeah, we are 6-handed at this
You're
table,
deep enough. You know, yeah, I'm all right with it.
Anthony calls behind with the king queen. Sergio folds the 4 deuce, heads up to this flop. Becomes ace king king. Wow.
I knew he should have folded king 5 pre-flop.
The case
Jeff.
remaining kings come on the flop, and
Jeez.
Freek is in some trouble here. There's a raise from Ant. Makes it 101,000.
Sizable as well.
Freek with about 450K behind.
This sort of texture, 2 clubs, Broadway tickets for the times we're up against ace-X that could have made a potential mistake betting this board. And how about for the times we are in fact up against an inferior king? Exactly the situation.
Freek calls. Turn is the deuce of clubs. No club for either player. Freek checks. 292K in the pot.
Maybe Zeno could be concerned about queen 10 of clubs, a hand like that, jack 10 of clubs.
So he does check back. 9 of diamonds on the river.
Yeah, and he is just trying to make sure that he picks up one more street here on the river, whether he's calling a bet from Freek or whether he's making the bet himself. Freek in a terrible spot. What do you do? 292 in the middle. We have trips. We were raised on this board. Would Zeno ever check back a flush if he made it on the turn? And he's just going to say, how about 100 and what's that, 150? 110.
110.
Might be right. Maybe Zeno can just now call. Or do we go for max value with king queen? And if we are up against a flush, so be it. Just going to call.
We'll make the call. Look of dismay on Freek's face. He sees the king-queen of Anthony Zeno.
Just a perfectly well-executed pot again by Zeno. He finds max value on the flop, checks back the scare card on the turn, and then finds a little more value on the river.
That's just a chicken Caesar salad. Is that just like a chicken salad?
good?
No, no, what is it?
Yeah, it's like chicken. It's
Chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
Jack 3 of diamonds for Joao, raises it up on the button.
If you don't like watching Joao play, then you're at the wrong stream. This guy is so active.
It's kings for Freek in the big blind.
Maybe consider just, yeah, there we go. Just
Yeah.
flat, set the trap with 2 kings. I don't mind it. When we shove, we just forced way too many folds. Oh, boy.
Ace, Jack 3, 2 pair for Joao.
Now, Freek obviously is a little bailed out by the time
Sure.
it does come ace high, but we're just never going to believe Joao here. I'm never check folding 2 kings in this spot, Jeff. I'm just not. I'm going to lose a street, maybe 2. I have the king of spades in my hand as well.
Freek does check call. Turn is the 4 spades. Freek has the king of spades.
Joao may elect to just do a little bit of an overbet stuffage here. 164 in the middle, 182 behind if he's counting Freek's stack correctly. And that's if we're assuming that these are, in fact, correct stack sizes.
Instead chooses the smaller sizing route, bets
yeah,
50K.
Induction. Such a weird spot now for Freek. What do we do with 2 kings and the king of spades?
Looks like he has about 200K behind.
There you go. So we can probably comfortably just call again. No reason really to stuff. What are we getting value from? We'd be folding out all the bluffs. Yeah, we're just coming along for the ride.
River the deuce of clubs.
And now all of a sudden it's a one-liner to a straight. If Joao does find value on the river, I might go broke here with 2 kings. I really might. Does he really have a 5? No way. 2 pair, flush, really? Just looks like a bluff, doesn't it, Jeff?
Zhao's going to look for max value. And the snap call from Freek with the kings. They are no good, and Freek's tournament is over.
I don't blame him. I really don't. So brutal.
Nice.
Nice life, huh? Marty's got himself a private jet.
Ticket for flying or
Well, he's got all the Party Poker Live dollars.
Yeah, I would think so.
something like that, right?
I looked at those. I was offered.
They
like,
give you 2 years to use
well,
them, and it
actually,
sounds like
but
he's running out of
fly on
time.
standby every flight.
Yeah,
You
I
can
got that
bump
one.
it
Might as well
so
ramp
you
up
can
his
pay
travel
your
costs.
stands, like,
Yeah,
on standby.
yeah. The amount of times, like, especially if you're leaving somewhere on mad tilt, and you're like, well, you might not get on the flight. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Sergio again limping in with 7s pre, this time on the button. It's Anthony raising it up out of the small blind with the 9-8 of clubs. Sergio making the call. 4-4-3 with 2 clubs.
We've seen this story, haven't we? Sergio with pocket 7s and overpair to the board. Up against a flush draw. How will Anthony proceed? How about this? Mr. Zeno, 50K, takes the lead in this pot.
The snap call from Sergio. Turn is an 8.
And now way out in front. Have to believe Sergio still sees this 8 as a brick.
Check, check, very quickly. 9s and 8s for Anthony.
And Zeno now likely to value bet here on the river. We've seen it time and time again. We can get called by potentially ace high,
yeah, not
7s,
stunned.
6s.
Cheers, thanks.
If we're up against 10s or jacks, so be it. He's going to bet
It's
it 200.
200K.
There it is.
And
oh,
just
my goodness. Wait a minute.
the snap raise from
Wow.
Sergio
This is strong.
to 700K, just like that with sevens.
I don't think we can call. I really don't. What are we? It looks like backdoor hearts got there. Obviously, we
But
can.
is Sergio the type to call on the flop?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe with like king 10 of hearts or something.
If he didn't want to give up, you know, he
Yeah,
got a great
just
price,
has given up quickly earlier.
50,000.
Yeah.
He had the backdoor flush draw. I mean, this is believable, Jeff. I think this works. Zeno having, you know, an 8 and a 9 in his hand, he blocks him from having a full house in that regard. In Zeno's mind, it is a missed club flush draw or it is a completed backdoor flush draw. I don't even think he's going to give Sergio credit for turning a small pair like this into a bluff. If he calls here, he is simply just trying to pick off missed clubs. That's it.
Sergio turning his sevens into a bluff.
Maybe like 5, 6 of diamonds. That's about the only other hand I can find.
You play Mathis in Mexico City? Yeah. It's, they've started playing like a lot more in Tijuana. And it's
Can Zeno find the
it's fun.
call?
Like, I definitely know I'm like a fish in the game, you know what I mean? But it's fun to learn something new and drink. And, it's a good action game. And
It's a really interesting game.
yeah, a very interesting game. I know Mexico City's like the capital for it.
Yeah. They play some really weird ones too.
Yeah, like
They're
different
like making
variations.
patterns with the cards.
Yeah.
You can use like
many do I
rows
read?
and diagonals.
Yeah.
3? I have 6.
And Zeno lays it down.
That was a great bluff by Sergio.
Good fun.
Tremendous. And instantly just turns him into a bluff on the river, too. Jeff, that is hard to do. Sergio, the recreational player here amongst the bunch.
Tiene un par en la mano.
He said that bluff you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it looks like he just told Joao that he bluffed him. There you go. Wow.
Before we raise the blinds, let's take a look at our leaderboard from our feature table. Neil Farrell up to more than 2.2 million in chips. Aaron Bean at about the 2 million mark. Joao Simao more than 1.6 million. There's Sergio after winning that hand up to more than 1.3 million. Zeno falls down to our table's short stack, 554K in chips for him. Marty Mathis with more than 1 million in chips. Party Poker Live, Million South America. Super high roller. King Queen for Aaron.
¿Cuánto es?
Aaron makes it 45K in the hijack. Lander with Jack 10 in the big. We'll defend.
4 or 5.
Comes Jack 10-5. Top 2 pair for Lander. The open-ended straight draw for Aaron.
On this sort of texture, Aaron, flush draw, open-ended with the king and the queen. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and bet. I think that from time to time you can consider checking. Now, Lander, what do we do? This is the difficulty in these spots. Can we check raise, build a pot? And I think that's right. Aaron's sizing is perfect, 35,000, even for the times that we are check raised. We're just going to be getting a great price. Both stacks are so deep.
That's check call. 4 diamonds on the turn. No diamond for either player.
You don't love it. Obviously, if you're Aaron, does not improve whatsoever. Flushes get there. If we're worried about our opponent having a 10 or a jack or some sort of flush draw, maybe a straight draw, he's going to size it up. And now Lander's stuck with just top 2. We are very concerned about the flush.
175K is the bet. Lander calls again. The river is the ace, the straight comes in for Aaron.
Everything gets there for Lander, who has just taken the conservative route. He check called flop, check called turn. Likely here, depending on the sizing, would consider check calling once more with Jack 10. The difficulty is, Aaron Bean, does he have any 3-barrel bluffs in this spot? I don't know, Jeff, on this sort of texture.
That 3rd barrel is for 425,000.
Maybe a hand like 6-7 of hearts that would have elected to bet twice with equity and then sort of inclined to bet the river as well. That's it, though. I think everything else is just straight value in this instance. Even a hand like ace-jack would still be betting. That would now make top 2. That could have had the ace of diamonds. Lander knows that. You see, he's very concerned, thinking, okay, well, this guy bet the flop, bet the turn when the flush got there. And now Broadway comes home on the river. He could make a very nice fold here for more than half his chips. That's a great laydown.
Correct laydown from Lander with the Jack 10. Nice pot for Aaron Bean. It's day 1 of the super high roller $25,000 buy-in and a brand new feature table for you. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks. And Brent, we have Marty Mathis back in the mix.
All right, we got the return of Marty, and then we've got a bunch of fresh new faces. We did have Freek at the start of play today. And let's get to know a little bit about these players as best we can. You can see by the chip stacks, no one really remarkably deep. Our chip leader, Francisco, only 59 bigs. There's a great shot of these folks. How much?
About $2.2 million in earnings.
Not too sure. I would say the country is wide open for someone to just explode and run away with this thing. I see Brian Kaufman Esposito, great name. He's down in 3rd in Uruguay. All right, Jeff, I'm going to keep an eye on Uruguay.
All
Someone's going to hit the 5 million mark at some point.
Meanwhile, Freek raises it up with the ace-queen of clubs. Marty in the big blind with ace-king. Oh. All of it from Marty.
$845.
Shove is for about 34 bigs.
Yeah, this is really hard for Freek. Likely has to call with ace-queen suited. I don't love it, but this is the bottom for me. I'm just putting it in. There it is.
Yeah, he does make the call. We'll see the bad news. We'll need to get lucky. Here we go. It's Marty Mathis all in and at risk. With ace-king against Freek's ace-queen of clubs.
Oh,
queen, 4 deuce. A good flop for Freek. Can he hold? 8 of diamonds on the turn. A diamond on the river would result in a chop.
Oh, my.
And it's a diamond on the river. Chop it up with Marty and Freek.
Pretending
at
I
the beach
like
and
the
then playing
beach.
slots.
I told you I'm not a big beach guy.
Right. The capital of Uruguay is Montevideo.
What? Say
Or
that
the
again.
Montevideo.
Montevideo.
Is the capital of Uruguay.
It's really good.
In fact, Brent.
Yeah?
Montevideo is credited for being the birthplace of the tango.
The tango.
The tango.
Would you look at that?
I did look at it. That's why I said it. Or producer George actually looked at it.
The producer
That's
George
right.
knows
Yeah,
a lot about doing the tango. Big time tango guy,
Big
producer
tango
George. Gets out there. What is
Makes
it?
magic
Every
happen
month
on
you
the
guys
dance
go out,
floor.
George? Twice a month. Yeah, he loves doing the tango. Every other Wednesday.
Marty and Limpton here, blind versus blind.
Yeah, and this is fairly reasonable. Again, I don't know how many times I've said it thus far during all of our shows.
Oh, boy.
This is my jam. Blind versus blind, two high-level, high-thinking players.
One of whom has flopped a flush.
Yeah, that ought to do it. Stone dead now with ace-king suited. How disheartening is that?
45?
Marty check calls.
Well, that's annoying for, obviously, Eidhorn.
9 of diamonds on the turn.
Going to save him at least an additional barrel. I think. Maybe he decides to now turn it into a bluff. Very difficult, though. All the pairs. Maybe if he has 10x or 7x without a diamond, we could get those hands to fold.
Does go check. Ace of spades on the river.
This is brutal. We may now feel inclined to even value bet. Look at this. Marty's going to check. This is a great
Robert
check
checks back, yeah. I'll save him a little bit. Ante at the Enjoy Resort and Casino. Marty opens here with the King Jack. Seven, 5 hearts for Marcelo in the big blind. Stares down the stack of Marty Mathis before making the call, playing a little defense. And flopping the open ender on the backdoor flush draw. Marty betting 55K. Marcelo calls. Jack of hearts on the turn.
Interesting
the
ticket.
flush draw for Marcelo to go along with his open-ended straight draw. Now top pair for Marty. The yawn of sorts from Marcelo before checking. Marty bets 200K. The check raise from Marcelo. The smallest check raise makes it 500K.
And he's going with it, Jeff. If Marty were to find a heroic jam, he's going with it.
Marty's going with it, and Marcelo.
Props to Marty here, too, saying,
Yeah,
I've got that. This doesn't make any sense. It looks like you have exactly what you're holding. Let's stick it in. Maybe once in a while we find a fold, but yeah, Marcelo
makes the call. Here we go.
Huge
Marty
draw.
Mathis all in and at risk, has to dodge 15 outs on the river. Marcelo looking for a heart, a 9 or a 4 to bust Marty. River card. It's a deuce of clubs. Marty dodges the river for the double up to 1.9 million in chips now for the 2019 Million South America main event champion.
All business in that end, too. No tanking going on. Marty bets, gets raised, stuffs it in the middle. Marcelo, yep, hims and haws, gambles, call, quickly, hand over. I love seeing that in poker, Jeff. Have to wear a lot of long sleeves in the house.
Here's Marcelo shoving with 4s after Francisco had opened with the 10-8 of hearts. Looks like a decision looming for Marty Mathis, who has the king-queen of clubs.
And that's exactly why. Good enough. Can consider just calling the 300, potentially folding for every time that Francisco decides to shove through. And it looks like he may be min-raising.
Yeah, he'll make it 550K.
And this is frustrating for anytime you do get shoved on. Yeah, he's going to love this. Great spot. How about Marcelo now getting better than 3-1 on his money, essentially?
Here we go, Marcelo Bonanata, all in and at risk with 4s against the king-queen of clubs of Marty Mathis. Tosses those 4s into the middle. Comes the flip. Ace-8 deuce with 2 clubs. Still a flip. 10 of spades on the turn. Marty adding more outs. Needs a king-queen club or jack.
Oh, my.
How about the jack of clubs?
The whole world.
And that'll do it for Marcelo. Marcelo on his way. Updated chip counts now. There's Oliveira, almost 30 bigs. Luis Peluso dips back down under $1 million. Marty Mathis with more than 2.4 million in chips.
I was just able to play like Stars, GG, and ACR yesterday. Yeah.
Pedro shoves with the jack 10 under the gun.
Yeah.
It's Luis with 9s. Shove is for 9 bigs.
Yeah, yesterday.
I was playing.
Yeah. But it was kind of nice. Like I was done with everything else. I didn't want to like stay, like the schedule runs so late. So I was like, oh.
Luis now deciding whether he should move all in or simply just call.
Move on.
Looks to me like he's deciding to maybe take it up a notch.
Starting the hand with 34 bigs.
I would like an all-in. There's really no room to just call here and consider folding. But again, it's not his style.
Right. As he does just call. Marty with 8s on the button. Throws it away.
I really wanted to play the 1K with the overlay yesterday.
Here we go. Pedro de Oliveira all in and at risk with the jack 10.
And you can't miss both of them. It just doesn't make sense.
Against the 9s of Luis Peluso.
Yeah, it's very close with like 25%.
I've seen this before.
It's probably even smarter to play that, and then if you bust.
Pedro's last all in, he beat Luis. He's up and at him. Comes queen 3, 7, 8 on the turn to give him a straight draw, but a 5 on the river, that will do it for Pedro de Oliveira.
And Marty folded pocket 8s this hand,
Yeah.
Jeff. And he folded it quickly, too. Seemed to know that Luis just had him notched.
James Romero up to almost 5 million in chips. Starting stack for this tournament, 1 million. Play 40-minute levels. Plan is to play 2 more of those levels, then call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow to crown a champion. Then Wednesday we'll pick up coverage of the Million South America main event. Blind versus blind. Leo with the ace-jack of hearts and a very short stack. All of it from him.
Okay.
Aaron calls with the queen 4 of hearts.
That is like 200, right?
A bit loose, Leo. I'm not sure about that one.
Jack, Jack 9. Leo going to be in pretty good shape. Ace on the turn. Jack's full.
Okay.
Now ace is full for Leo. Don't want to waste it all, Leo. See doubles up to 470K. Kings for Antonio.
We have seen kings so many times today. I don't think we've seen pocket aces once, Jeff. Can you recall it?
No, we have not.
Quite certain we have not seen aces all day. This might be the first time in the history of however many hours we've done this today, a lot, that we haven't seen aces. 5, 6+ hours?
Yeah, over the 5-hour mark now. Small sizing on the 3-bet.
I love it. It's inviting. Neil's getting a great price.
He agrees with that. Makes the call with the queen 9 of spades.
Uh-oh.
10-10-3 with 2 spades.
This could get fuzzy. I don't expect Neil to be check raising very often here with a flush draw. Simply just take your equity, come along for the ride.
No down bet here. Antonio fires 375K.
And that being said, yes, maybe if we do check raise, semi-bluff, could we get a hand like ace-queen, ace-king to fold? Yeah, likely, right? The fact that he's getting a really nice price with the flush draw, and considering he still has 2.6 million behind, I think he may just call. So, some of this is very player dependent as well. How often would a guy like Antonio just look at this? He is going to just plow ahead.
The check raise to 1.1 million.
So Neil hoping to get a fold here, and the time that he does just have to get it in. You can see the percentages, about 30% to win.
Antonio with about 1.7 million behind. And folds the kings!
What? That's why you check raise the flush draw, because you're going to get aces and kings to fold. How is that? How did that just happen? Folds 2 kings. I haven't folded kings in my entire career, which is probably why I'm stuck in the booth and I'm not out there competing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jeff, take a look at that leaderboard.
Yeah, with that, Neil Farrell is up to more than 3.6 million in chips. Antonio down to less than 1.7 million. That's about Rainer Kempe's stack size. James Romero with more than 4.3 million. Anthony Zeno, 1.22 million. Leo Fernandez at about starting stack. Aaron B in our short stack. Meanwhile, Neil probably thinking, oh yeah, got ace-king to fold. Very nice.
Of course that's what he's thinking. Yeah, no way in his mind does he believe that he just forced 2 kings to fold. It's just unfathomable.
Oh boy, James opens with the ace-queen of clubs. Anthony shoving on the button with the ace-9 of hearts. Romero makes the call, and here we go. Anthony Zeno all in and at risk with the ace-9 of hearts against James's ace-queen of clubs.
Good hand, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Don't sweat it.
Can Anthony get lucky here? Well, it does open up some chop outs, does have a backdoor flush draw. Turn is the jack of hearts, and the river is the 6 of clubs. That'll do it for Anthony Zeno. Just an absolute class act, a pleasure to have at our feature table.
Of course he is. Zeno, he's just notorious for being one of the best, one of the nicest guys out there. Nothing but a smile every time he plays. Clearly a little frustrated right now, but look how he handles this. Poise, class. He's ready for the next event. That has.
Aaron with the king 10 of hearts. And the cutoff, 8.5 bigs, all of it. Neil Farrell with the ace king on the button.
425,000. What are you going to
Neil calls. And it's Aaron Bean all in and at risk with the king 10 of hearts against Neil's ace king. Aaron Bean's tournament life on the line. Comes queen 4-3, rainbow no hearts. Bean will need to find a 10.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Oh wow, it comes jack ace.
Saw the eyebrows raised on the turn card. We weren't certain what it was. I thought it helped him. Most definitely did. And there it is, Broadway. Aaron Bean now back up to a starting stack in this thing. Look at that, huh? You feel free to include me in these games if you ever want to participate.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that.
Okay. Missed that.
Reiner now has a pretty nice cooler spot up against Mr. Romero. Likely just going to do a little stuff city on the button with ace-queen suited.
The tournament gets like 200 players. They're like, oh, well, there's a short-handed table.
The 3-bet is to 390,000.
390,000.
Now, Romero. What sort of hands would Reiner commit himself with? Certainly worse. No doubt, ace-10, ace-9, not necessarily even having to be suited. Romero has been active in spots. We haven't seen anything extraordinarily out of line. Ace-Jack, I have to believe, is just a little too good. He probably sticks it in, and there it is.
He does indeed. Reiner makes the call, and here we go. Reiner Kempe in great shape to double up. He is all in and at risk with the ace-queen of spades against the ace-jack of James Romero. Can the ace-queen hold up? Saw a jack at first, but it came queen, jack 8. Turn is a 6. James will need a jack to bust Reiner Kempe. It does not come. 3 of diamonds on the river. And a double up for Reiner Kempe.
Well, that is huge.
Up to almost 3.7 million.
775.
Romero rips it. Action back on Aaron with the ace-8 of clubs.
Right, how about James Romero's style? He is relentless, huh? Just goes for the throat over and over again. And Aaron Bean is legitimately considering calling off here with ace-8 of clubs. And that's
he
it. He's
does
gonna
make the call with the ace-8 of clubs. It's Aaron Bean all in and at risk up against James Romero's Jack 10.
¿Tenías as dos?
It's not good.
No.
Jack in the window
No,
comes
no
Jack
bueno.
9-9 with one club. Turn is the king of clubs. River is the 10 of diamonds. That will do it for Aaron Bean. Made the right call in that spot.
Yeah, you know, give him props there. Beautiful stuff. Take a look at these payouts.
Paying out 5 spots, $60,000 for fifth. Our champion will take home $325,000. 35 entries at the Million South America Super High Roller. 15 players enter today with a shot at a Millions trophy, with a shot at a $325,000 first place prize, with a shot at being crowned Super High Roller Champion. This is Party Poker Live, Millions South America, coming to you from the Enjoy Resort and Casino in Punta del Este, Uruguay. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks. Brent, South America has become quite accustomed to our chip leader.
How about that? Marty Mathis. Last year, he won the Party Poker Millions South America main event. That was good for $873,000, 10 times his best score. Now, chip leader of this event, 15 remain. Take a look at this leaderboard, Jeff. Star-studded.
Yeah, who else is lying in the weeds? How about Party Poker Team Pro? Dzmitry Urbanovich.
We lost Jack Daniels.
Well, just to the outer table. Still in the tournament.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Jacob Daniels, I believe his name maybe probably goes by Jake.
Cousins?
I don't know. Dzmitry opens here with queens.
Leo, give the man King Jack suited. Incoming, no doubt about it. Under 20 bigs. Strikes me as the type of player that just wants to ram and jam right here, right now. But there is a world in which I would prefer flatting. Just don't know if Leo's got it in him. Let's see.
No, it's all of it from Leo.
Yeah, he's here to party.
The call from Dzmitry. And here we go. Right off the bat, Leo Fernandez all in and at risk. This King Jack of Hearts against Dzmitry Urbanovich's queens. King in the window.
Oh.
Queen right behind it. This
Wow.
is the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah,
Couple
3
back
to a
door
royal.
draws.
Oh my
The 10 of
goodness.
Hearts on the turn.
Come
the
on.
royal flush draw.
Wow.
The 10 of spades on the river.
Dramatic.
The full house for Dzmitry. And that will do it for Leo Fernandez, out in 14th place.
They really powered through that. I mean, we had a royal flush sweat there, Jeff. Aces hold. There it is.
Aces hold.
What a story.
And here we
Meanwhile,
go.
look at
Sergio
this.
is all in and at risk with his king-queen against Dzmitry's eights. Quick run out there. Dzmitry's eights hold, and that'll do it for Sergio Irlaski.
That's it, huh? For Sergio, I was just getting to the bottom of this dodgeball story, and like that, he's out the door. I've never seen king-queen suited lose.
On Reiner's stack.
3 million 80. 3 million 4 million 35. 4 million.
No, 3,810,000, right?
3 million, so maybe
3.8 million.
So Romero, yeah, 9s, 10s, jacks, ace queen, maybe ace king some of the time. Always a pretty tough spot. Ace queen suited might even hit the muck here, Jeff. I'm not sure we can call.
Romero would take a significant lead if he wins this, and here we go. Romero showing ace-king. Sagra with just queen 10. and Kempe has ace-queen.
Oh, my.
Flop is 8-5-4, a safe one for Romero. The turn is a 7, a safe one for Romero. The river is a 10.
He hit a 10. How'd he do that?
And
He
it's
pulled
a
the 10
triple
out.
up for Roberto Sagra.
But Romero should win a sizable
That's
side
right.
pot, right? Busting Reiner Kempe here.
Reiner Kempe out in 12th. The triple up for Roberto. Wow.
Wow
Romero
is right.
almost had all the chips. Reiner Kempe started the day 4th in chips, and he is out in 12th.
As Norman Chad would say, we bamboozled.
Joao Simao, Roberto Sagra at our outer table. Oh, here we go. Francisco raises it up with the ace-king. Bruno looks down at 10s in the cutoff. The 3-bet is to 650,000.
Fold. Fold. Fold.
Could see a collision here.
Oh yeah, this is going in.
All in. All in.
Bruno.
All in and
off
a
to
call.
the races. Here we go.
Well, this is a massive flip to say the least. It's Bruno Bataillon all in and at risk with 10s against the ace-king of Francisco Benitez. More than 6.4 million in this pot. The flop a safe one so far for Bruno as it comes queen jack 8. Francisco adds a gut shot. Looking for an ace king or 10 and finds it on the turn. Full house outs now for Bruno. And it's a 9 on the river, the straight for Francisco. That will do it for Bruno. He is out in 10th place, and here comes Francisco Benitez.
How does that happen? Look at that run out.
Dramatic.
7 cards straight with the ace king.
And let's go to that outer table right now. Joao Simao in a pot against Neil Farrell. Queen 10-7 with 2 spades on the flop. Neil bet 190K. All of it from Joao. Farrell makes the call. Neil has the ace-9 of spades. Joao has a pair of 10s. 3 of spades on the turn, that's it. The stone cold nuts for Neil Farrell. And it's Joao Simao, the Party Poker Team Pro, out in 9th place.
I mean, this is just absolutely flying now.
Francisco Benitez sees his name on top. The Uruguayan with more than 7.3 million in chips. Marty Mathis right there. James Romero and Neil Farrell enter this final table with more than 5 million in chips. Roberto Sagra, Ivan Luca, the Argentinians. Jacob Daniels, one of 3 remaining Americans at about 20 bigs. Dzmitry, Urbanovich are short stack, but still comfortable.
Urbanovich has been swinging for the fences too, coming into this final table, up and down, roller coaster. See if we can get back in contention right away.
Neil folding ace-7 of hearts in the cutoff. A bubble. Fold.
I think so. It might be a little too tight. I'm not. Ace-7 of hearts on the cutoff. 6-handed with these stacks. Yeah, maybe it's right. I mean, Neil's going to know these spots certainly better than I will, Jeff. And if our counts are correct, which I don't know if they are. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's reasonable.
plus. Let's just say it was absolutely correct because James has the ace-queen of diamonds.
Yeah, and I mean, being six-handed now, you're one off the money, and you have Luca who's so short.
Yeah.
I think it's just fine to avoid those spots altogether.
He's 5-3 with 1 diamond. Pair and a wheel draw for Francisco, top pair. A couple backdoor draws for James. James will bet 300K. Francisco lining up the check raise. Makes it 900K. James certainly not going anywhere.
I like this
Big
raise.
pot developing between our two biggest stacks.
2-pair equity, obviously a straight draw. Max pressure, and oh my.
Had the 2-pair draw as well, which he spiked on the turn. He'll lead for 850K. Time extension used by James, granting him an additional 30 seconds to act.
James very well may find a correct fold here. So much more likely for the big blind to have some sort of 4x holding, and it would also make sense for him to be check raising a hand like 4-3. And oh my gosh, rather.
Wow.
1.8.
What? He's totally flipped the script. Romero now raising on this one-liner to a straight, saying, I'm on the button. I'm uncapped. I can have a 4. He's going to take control of this hand. And he puts Francisco in a really tough spot now with 5 deuce. Holy cow.
Francisco calls and almost 6.3 million in the middle as we await this river. And that river is a queen. A better 2-pair for James Romero.
This is unreal. I mean, I've never saw the raise coming by Romero. Now we have top 2. This is so strange. I assume Romero now is targeting a lesser 2-pair. When we're called on the turn, what do we think our opponent has? Right? If we just rip it, aren't we getting snapped by all the 4s? Then again, we don't want to miss value from any of the other 2-pair combos. Maybe just bet small. Let's see if he can get value around 2 million.
Fires in another time extension. James is going to go ahead and check back and show down the winner. Francisco not pleased. James Romero up to more than 12.6 million.
That was a thing of beauty. I don't know what we just witnessed in that hand. I'm not sure what we're doing there on the turn.
Most of it into the middle.
Very fitting.
How much?
Unleash the bull.
I'm going to save one back here.
Like just under 2 total. I call.
Jacob calling with the queen 10 of diamonds.
Well, Jacob now, he's doing his job. Look at this. He says, okay, good enough. I'll
I got
call.
all the chips here. Francisco.
Wow.
With jacks.
Oh, my goodness.
325.
What a hand to kick off play at this level.
What a spot. Look at this. It's so genuine. Thinking, can I just call here? He'd have to put in 2 million of his 3.1 essentially.
Oh.
Is he considering folding 2 jacks in this spot?
Eyeing the other short stacks.
Yeah, 2, 3, 25.
Wow. I really
Marty
do.
and Ivan are dancing at in the street, seeing
Jeff,
what's going on
I
here.
think he's gonna put. I think he's gonna fold.
Says he's just not sure.
Wow.
Wild hand on the bubble.
Stranger things on the bubble. Francisco certainly in the upside down. What in the world do we do with 2 jacks here in this spot? I mean, his demeanor, his body language is suggesting to me that he's going to fold. It's just too strong. He's going to call. Oh, wait,
he's going to call. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second.
Hold on.
No, maybe it's.
I don't think he realized that.
Right.
He was just calling 1.9 million.
Calls and he'll leave himself
This is awkward. Yes, it is. I agree.
some chips behind. A very awkward spot now is, remember, Neil still has 25K behind.
Neil Farrell, he hates this right now. Until he finds an 8, which is what he is hoping and praying for. He absolutely despises this situation.
It comes ace-6-4. Francisco's jacks are best.
Yeah, Jacob quickly checks, and I think Francisco probably going to check behind. Aren't we afraid of the ace? Or maybe we now think that we can simply just get it heads up.
Yeah, he will check behind.
He's all in.
No, I'm not.
Oh, just kidding. No, I'm not.
Oh, and so remember, it does check around to Neil, who does check. A queen on the turn.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
It's okay, I have to. I
now
have to try
Jacob
and
rips
hit
it.
against you, I think, for this price.
Neil, for that price, getting about 100 to 1 on the call there. Is about a 20 to 1 dog.
Unbelievable. What a strange hand.
Farrell needs to spike an 8 to stay alive.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
What'd you have? Wow.
Can he do it? Can he find the 8s? He cannot. 5 of diamonds on the river. Good game to Neil Farrell. Jacob rips it in with the ace-10 of hearts.
Ooh.
Francisco calls it off with the 10-8.
Yeah.
A little more than 4.5 bigs.
He's just hoping he's live, obviously. Sees the very bad news.
Dominated.
Francisco Benitez dominated. You heard it from him. He's on the ropes.
Dominate. Yeah, it has an 8 in it.
Dominate.
Yeah. It has an 8 in it.
9-3 deuce with 2 hearts. It's not a fun flop for Francisco. Looking for an 8 that's not a heart, or backdoor cards to make a straight.
7 space.
4 of clubs on the turn. Can Francisco find the 8 of spades or the 8 of diamonds on the river to stay alive? He cannot. Francisco Benitez, the Uruguayan, out in 5th. He'll take home $60,000. But since I was right, deserves multiple mentions. I can call this hand, though, as Jacob just rips it on the button with jacks. Aces for Marty Mathis.
What?
A little bit of Hollywooding here, considering there is one other player left in the hand.
7.9. I thank you. Call.
There's the call. Ivan didn't have anything.
Wow. Jesus. What the fuck is that? That's not great.
This is certainly a cooler four-handed.
What's count?
Is this real?
Stares right at Jacob for the reaction after he shows the aces.
I mean, I'm happy for you, Marty. 6.
Marty Mathis all in and at risk. And flops an ace. Backdoor diamonds, though, for Jacob.
It's never easy.
Never easy.
I'm always queasy.
It's going to be a two of spades.
And
Turn is the
that's
5
it.
of hearts. That'll do it. The double up for Marty Mathis for our 2019 Million South America main event champion. Making a run at this title now.
All in.
All of it from Jacob with 3s on the button. Marty wakes up with jacks in the small blind.
All in?
Aces again, Marty?
No, I have your hand.
Oh, nice.
It is Marty all in and at risk.
I have your hand. I'm in the heart business. Nice hand.
Jacks for Marty, 3s for Jake.
5.5.
5.5 exactly?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm not going to prepay this time.
Ace-8-4. Backdoor wheel draw for Jacob. For now, needs a 3.
You try breathing out of your nose.
Wasn't me. Turn card. It's a 9. A safe run out so far for Marty Mathis. Can he dodge one more street to double up? He can. It's a jack on the river. With that, Marty Mathis is right back in this one.
Just keeping it clean, Marty. Just shy of 12 million, neck and neck for the chip lead. That's what we said, Jeff. Just one double up away.
Another blind versus blind battle. Ivan with an ace.
All in. 5.4.
Ooh, this is really close.
James looks down at the king 9.
Yeah, I think it's good enough.
5.400,000.
James has Ivan very slightly outchipped. Chavez for 13 bigs. James makes the call. Here we go. Ivan Luca all in and at risk. Barely ahead with the ace-6 against the king-9 of James Romero.
Good luck. You have him covered?
We have like same stack.
King 7 deuce. Fantastic flop for James. Ivan in some real trouble now. Turn card is a 5. Ivan all in and at risk. Needs to find an ace on the river to stay alive. It's the 3 of diamonds. We'll count it down to be sure.
And we think that's it. These stacks are very close to one another. Ivan Luca, #1 all-time in the country of Argentina. $6.3 million in career earnings.
Good game, man.
And that does indeed
That's
do it
it
for him. Out in 4th, taking home $100,000. Pretty impressive to go back-to-back Millions South America. The Party Poker Live Millions South America Super High Roller. Coming to you from the Enjoy Resort and Casino in Punta del Este, Uruguay. The sun has fallen. The stakes have increased. Don't really know where I was going with that one, Brent.
The sun has fallen.
The stakes have risen. Ah, that would have been awesome. Jacob Daniels, the chip leader. A very, very slight chip leader. Marty Mathis in 2nd. James Romero in 3rd. We entered the final table with 3 Americans left. We entered the top 3 with 3 Americans left. 200K, 400K with a 200K button ante. Anybody's game, to say the least.
Yeah.
Good spot to rebound for James as he looks down at aces on the button. With 15 bigs. And just limps in on the button. Jacob with queen 9 in the small blind.
Oh my, and it worked.
Jacob shoves. The trap works to perfection. James Romero all in and at risk.
Nice. Bad timing.
He's in fantastic shape with 2 aces against the queen 9 at Jacob Daniels.
7.5.
This would give James the chip lead if his ace is held. It comes 9-8-5.
Little sweaty.
Little sweat indeed, as Jacob needs a queen or a 9. Turn card. It's a king. Close. Jacob needs a queen or a 9 to bust James Romero. River card. It's a 6. It's the double up for James Romero. Jacob Daniels Moves from chip leader to short stack.
6 million?
Just about all of it from Jacob with threes on the button.
All in. All in.
All in.
All of it from James with eights. Here we go. Jacob
I have
Daniels
nine
all in and at
pairs.
risk.
You pair over pair.
Pair over pair every time.
Everything all in.
He has threes. James Romero has eights.
I'm due to hit 1. You hit 1 and 5, is that right?
Oh, I'm.
Yeah, it's right. It's time.
All right.
It really is.
Says it's time for him to
One
get
out of
there.
5.
1 out of 5, yeah.
Marty, don't.
See if it happens on the flop.
Oh, so close.
Close. It comes king
I'll take
5-4.
any
Deuce.
six.
Backdoor
No,
straight
6.
draw.
Deuce is better.
Deuce?
You're right. 6 stinks.
For now, Jake needs a 3. Doesn't find it on the turn. Can he get there on the river? To stay alive. It's a 6 on the river.
Good luck, guys.
Good game to Jacob Daniels. The Texan takes home $150,000 for his third place
journey
finish.
continues for Jacob Daniels. Came into this thing with $540,000.
So we take a look at the chip counts entering heads up. James Romero, more than 24 million in chips. Marty Mathis, almost 11 million.
Likely be this hand.
This could be that very pot. James has ace-10 here.
All in.
There it is.
All of it from Marty. The call from James, and here we go.
So winner chugs.
Winner chugs.
The winner chugs a glass of wine. If the winner is
Winner
James
chugs.
Romero, he also just so happens to win the tournament. Ace-10 for James Romero.
Ow.
And if I lose, I chug with you.
Queen-Jack for
So
Marty
we get another glass to
Mathis.
Celebrate.
And if I lose,
You'll just sip and enjoy.
I'll chug with you.
Okay, so we're chugging wine no matter what.
So they're just chugging wine. I love these guys. This is how you play
this
poker.
is fantastic.
Let's go.
You fold queen.
James the slight favorite.
That is not
A
good
much
flop.
bigger favorite now as it comes ace-8-3.
Plenty of turn cards, Jeff.
Marty down to runner to stay alive.
For good luck. For a king.
They're just going to chug the
They're
wine
going.
now.
Now,
Let's
this
go.
is
Let's
incredible.
do this.
What a finish.
Meanwhile, turn card.
Golf,
it's
gentlemen.
a 5.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is all over.
Wow.
James Romero
Look at these legends. Just all the wine down the hatch.
is your Million South America Super
Yeah.
High Roller Champion.
That's how you win a title, Mr. Romero.
A well-deserved round of applause as he takes home the
Yeah,
trophy
roller, baby.
and $325,000. Brenny just put on an absolute show once
He
again.
sure did. Again, this kid's not going to be flying under the radar any longer. I'm telling you, he's here. He's here to shine. You can tell he wants it. He wants the titles, the glory. Now he's got all the cash. Let's have ourselves a year, Mr. Romero.
Coming off a third-place finish at the Millions UK main event, James Romero gets it done at the Millions South America Super High Roller. Strong effort by Marty Mathis. He finishes in second. He wins $213,750, and now he looks to defend his Millions South America main event title.